Good morning Year 2, Miss Wilson here, and today we're doing some more Traction Man English. I loved seeing all your story ideas yesterday about what you could do with Traction Man and your sidekick, so today we're going to turn it into a story. So I've got my ideas in front of me. I'm just going to remind myself of my ideas. So I had my main characters, Traction Man, Tissue Timmy and Recycled Reggie, who I decided was going to be the bad guy in my story. And I decided the bad thing that he was going to be doing is that he was against recycling and wanted to escape from the bin and was going to start a protest with an army of other recycled objects. But I also decided that Traction Man was going to hear what they were planning and save the day, and I had the fun idea of him using Tissue Timmy as a parachute. I couldn't decide whether going to talk or take them out, but I've had a think, and I think in order to save the day, he's going to parachute in and put a lid on top of the bin so they can't escape. And I came up with my title, Traction Man, Tissue Timmy and the Recycling Rebel. So we're going to turn our brainstorm today into a storyboard. So I've written my title nice and big at the top, remembering my capital letters for my names, so Traction Man, Tissue Timmy and the Recycling Rebels. Even if your title isn't names, we still give it capital letters because it's the title of a story. So if you're reading a book, you'll notice that the title always has capital letters at the start of the main words. So our storyboard is going to have 6 main points on it. So I need a beginning, I need the problem, I need the solution, and I need the ending. So you need to think about what is Traction Man and your sidekick doing at the beginning. What is the problem? The problem in my story is them hearing Recycled Reggie and his plan to escape from the recycling bin. And then you need your solution. So my solution will be Traction Man parachuting in and then putting a lid on the bin. And then you need an ending. You need to decide, is your ending going to be a happy ending where he saves the day, or is it going to be left on a dun 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 and maybe we won't find out what happens. So that's the first thing you need to do. You can either, if you have a printer, I'll put this template on and you can print it off, or you can just draw it into your book. Do it in your workbook, because then you've got lines which will make it easier for you to write on. So I need to open my story. So what could Traction Man and Tissue Timmy have been doing? Well, why would there be a tissue box? I remember they met because Traction Man's owner, the little boy, was poorly. That's what I decided last week. So I'm going to write. Traction Man and Tissue Timmy were. So I want to say that they were looking after the little boy. I want to put an adverb in front of that. If not, that might be quite a boring sentence. Traction Man and Tissue Timmy were kindly. I think that's a kind thing to do. They were kindly looking after, that F join, making sure I get that in there. Looking after the little boy. So I've set the scene there for my story. Traction Man and Tissue Timmy were kindly looking after the little boy. That is what was happening before the problem. Now, we're not going to fill in the boxes today. We'll be doing that tomorrow, so leave the boxes blank and just do the writing on the lines today. I'm going to pause now so I can write about the problem, and then we'll do the solution together. Okay, so now I have written about the start of the problem, so them discovering the problem. So I've written, all of a sudden they heard a bang, which made them jump. And I've used an exclamation mark there because that is an exciting sentence. They went to investigate. Traction Man slowly walked up to the edge of the bin, with Tissue Timmy standing nervously behind him. So in this sentence I've made sure I've described what they're doing using adverbs so you can really paint a picture in the reader's head. And I've added the with Tissue Timmy bit to really make it clear what's happening. So now I need to explain what is happening. What is Traction Man going to see when he reaches the edge of the bin? So he's going to see recycled Reggie, and he's going to see him trying to escape. Okay, I've added some lines in there because I just got carried away with my description and ran out of room. I've written, recycled Reggie had created an army of recycling. They could see toilet roll tubes, cereal boxes and newspapers all lined up to escape the bin. So now that is my problem. I've explained the problem. Now I need a solution. How are Traction Man and Tissue Timmy going to save the day? So I know back from my plan, so if you forget you can just look back at your plan, your brainstorm. It's okay to change the ideas though if you think you've had a better idea today. But I remember I really wanted to include this idea of Traction Man using Tissue Timmy's tissues as a parachute. So it's Traction Man who had the idea. So I'm going to write Traction Man had an idea. I have written, Traction Man had an idea. He gripped onto the edge of a tissue and counted to 3. He took a deep breath and stepped off the edge. In fact, I'm going to end that with a dun dun dun, because I would be excited as a reader to find out what happened next. So I've got my final bit now, so now I need to bring it to a close and decide if Traction Man has managed to save the day. So what he's going to do when he steps off the edge is he is going to shut the recycling bin lid on the top so that they cannot escape. That's his solution. He's going to kick it shut with his feet. So I'm going to have a happy ending. So I'm just going to quickly write that. So my final section says, Traction Man floated. I've used that verb so that we can picture him floating through the air in his parachute. Traction Man floated through the air and kicked the bin lid shut. Recycled Reggie and his army were trapped. The day was saved once again. So I'm showing how it's a nice, happy ending, but I've not had to use too many words in that one to get there. So that's my story overall. So now I want you to give it a go. I want you to use your ideas from your brainstorm, decide what ideas you want to keep, and then turn it into a story, remembering to have your setting the scene, your problem, your solution, and your ending. Now I'll put a picture of this up to help you remember that order as well. Try and include an adverb in there somewhere. That would be great to see after all your hard work on adverbs recently. And also, obviously, all the usuals of capital letters, full stops, exclamation marks. Maybe you can squeeze a question mark in. Try really hard with your handwriting. Try to join up those letters that we've learned. And maybe you could even try and fit some conjunctions in too. I really want to see what you can do. So the template is on the drive, or you can draw this yourselves. Have fun with it, and I'm really excited to read all of your brilliant stories.